Welcome to Read Alouds with Mrs. Na. If you like my books and like reading with me, please make sure you subscribe. Today we are going to be reading Disney Princess, my first bedtime storybook. Oh, raise your hand if you're feeling sleepy and tired. Me too. So let's go ahead and dive right in as we read a bedtime story about Disney princesses. It is written actually by Disney Press, meaning the people at Disney wrote these books. They have adapted and changed it so that it's less for us to read tonight as bedtime. Let's begin with our Cinderella story. Once there was a girl called Cinderella. She lived with her wicked stepmother and stepsisters. One day, they were invited to a royal ball. Royal meaning like with kings and queens. Cinderella wanted to wear an old dress that had belonged to her mother. But Cinderella was so busy with her chores, she had no time to fix it. Do you know what a chore is? Yeah, a chore is something that you have to do to kind of like clean the house or maybe make your bed, things that you have to do around the house. Luckily, Cinderella had Little Bird and Mouse friends, and they fixed her dress so she could get to the royal ball. But Cinderella's stepsisters were jealous and tore the dress apart. Does jealous sound like a good word or a bad word? Yeah, jealous is not a good word. It means they felt envious and they were like, oh, I want it too, that's not fair. So heartbroken, Cinderella ran outside to the garden and cried. Suddenly, her fairy godmother appeared. She wanted to help. She said, bibbidi bobbidi boo, and waved her magic wand. Can you do that with me and wave your magic wand? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Cinderella looked down to find herself dressed in a beautiful gown and a pair of glass slippers. She was ready for the ball. But at the stroke of midnight, the spell would break. What time is midnight? Do you know? It's 12 at night. At the ball, which is like a dance, the prince asked Cinderella to dance. They danced together all night and fell in love. Can you say, "Aww"? Before they knew it, the clock began to strike midnight. The spell was about to be broken. Ding dong, ding dong. As Cinderella hurried home, she left one glass slipper behind. The prince decided he would marry the girl whose foot fit the glass slipper. Cinderella's stepsisters tried it on, but their feet were too big. Then the slipper accidentally broke. Luckily, Cinderella had the other glass slipper. Soon, Cinderella and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after. Oh, I hope you're ready now for bed, having read Cinderella. Good night, and please make sure you come back, subscribe so you can see when our next story comes. Welcome to Read Alouds with Mrs. Na. Today we'll be reading the Disney Princess Little Mermaid, part of the My First Disney Princess Bedtime Storybook, which is actually written by just Disney. Ooh, I'm feeling tired. Let's read. Ariel was a little mermaid with a beautiful voice. One day, she spotted a man called Prince Eric on board his ship. Ariel longed to meet the prince, but she knew her father, King Triton, would never approve. Hey, what do you think the word longed means? Ariel longed to meet the prince. I don't think it means long and as in like long and short. Yeah, when it says Ariel longed to meet the prince, she wanted to meet the prince. She desired to. And what do you think approve might mean? But she knew her father, King Triton, would never approve. Yeah, that King Triton would never say it was an okay, good thing. So suddenly, storm clouds filled the sky. The princess's ship lured back and forth, causing Eric to fall overboard. Ariel rescued him and brought him to shore. Yeah, women can rescue men too, right? Ariel sang to the prince, but when he began to wake up, she dove back into the sea. As Eric made his way back to the castle, Ariel watched from afar, meaning like far away. And here's our antagonist, meaning the person we are against in the story, Ursula. Below the waves, Ursula, the sea witch, spied on Ariel. She promised to make Ariel human if she would just give Ursula her voice. But Eric would have to kiss Ariel before the third sunset, or the Little Mermaid would belong to Ursula. Ariel agreed and became human. Eric found Ariel on the beach. He asked her if she was the girl who had sung to him, but Ariel couldn't speak. So Eric took her to his castle to help her. The next day, Eric and Ariel spent a wonderful afternoon. He almost kissed her, but Ursula's evil eels stopped them. If you don't know what an eel is, it kind of looks like a snake, but it's underwater. Ursula disguised herself as a human girl named Vanessa. She carried Ariel's voice in her shell necklace, and with it, she cast a spell on Eric. Under Ursula's spell, Eric announced that he was going to marry Vanessa the very next day. And at the wedding, Ariel's bird friend Scuttle discovered the truth about Vanessa. He broke the shell necklace, which gave Ariel her voice back. Eric was just about to kiss his true love Ariel when the sun set on the third day. It was too late. Ariel became a mermaid again. Now, Ursula ruled Ariel and the ocean. Look at how big Ursula got. Eric jumped on a ship and steered it out to sea to challenge her. After a fierce battle, the sea witch was destroyed. The ocean was safe again, but Ariel and Eric couldn't be together. So King Triton agreed to use his magic to make his daughter human. Eric and Ariel were married and lived happily ever after. Okay, readers, good night, and don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to Read Alouds with Mrs. Na. Today we'll be reading from my first Disney Princess Bedtime Storybook, Tangled. Ooh, I love this movie, and I love the soundtrack, meaning the songs in this movie. This book is written by just Disney Press. The people at Disney wrote this book. Let's dive right in as we get ready to go to sleep. Once, there was a young princess named Rapunzel. Her hair had magical powers. A woman named Mother Gothel wanted this power, so she kidnapped Rapunzel and raised her in a tower. Oh, I'm getting tired. I hope you're starting to get sleepy too. Every year on her birthday, Rapunzel saw glowing lights in the sky. They seemed meant for her. While Mother Gothel was away one day, a thief known as Flynn Rider climbed up the tower with the stolen crown in his bag. When he got to the top, Rapunzel hit him with the frying pan and took the crown away from him. Rapunzel told Flynn she would give him back the crown if he took her to see the lights. Leaving the tower after so many years was scary, but Rapunzel was excited. She and Flynn traveled for days and days. Rapunzel learned that Flynn's real name was Eugene. By the time they reached the kingdom, Eugene and Rapunzel had become friends. As a gift, Eugene gave Rapunzel a flag with an emblem of the sun on it. What do you think emblem means? Yeah, with like a sign or a picture. That night, Rapunzel's dreams came true. She saw the beautiful floating lanterns up close. To thank Eugene, Rapunzel decided to give the crown back to him. But he didn't care about it anymore. He only cared for Rapunzel. That is true love. Later, Eugene was captured by some bad guys. Mother Gothel found Rapunzel. She lied and told her that Eugene had left. So Rapunzel agreed to return to the tower with her. But as she gazed at the flag, Rapunzel realized it was familiar. It was the flag of her kingdom. She was the lost princess. Do you see the emblem, that symbol or that sign? Yeah, there's the emblem of the sun in the picture. Eugene managed to escape. He climbed up to Rapunzel's tower, but Mother Gothel wounded him. Ooh, that's a big word. What do you think wounded means by looking at this picture? Yeah, Mother Gothel hurt him. Rapunzel made a deal. If she could use her hair to heal Eugene, she would stay with Mother Gothel forever. Readers, what do you think heal might mean? She could use her hair to heal Eugene. That's right, it's the opposite or the antonym of the word wounded. Heal means to make better. Like when you put medicine on to heal your hurts. But Eugene wouldn't let her. Before Rapunzel could save him, Eugene reached up and cut off her hair. The magic instantly disappeared, and Mother Gothel turned to dust. Thinking all hope of saving Eugene was lost, Rapunzel cried. But as her tears fell on his face, he was magically healed. He was made better again. Hey readers, can you look closely at the pictures? What do you notice about Rapunzel's hair? Let's compare and contrast. That's right. Not only did her hair get shorter when Flynn or Eugene cut it, but the color changed to brown. At long last, Rapunzel was reunited with her parents. And Princess Rapunzel and Eugene lived happily ever after. Good night, readers. And don't forget to subscribe with Read Aloud with Mrs. Na so you know what books we have next time. Welcome to Read Aloud with Mrs. Na. We are going to be reading today Disney Princess Storytime, Beauty and the Beast. Let's get ready to read, readers. Our good night story time. Once upon a time, a woman asked a spoiled prince for shelter. He refused to help her, so she cast a spell on him and everyone in the castle. Unless the prince could love and earn someone's love in return, he would remain a beast forever. Not far away in a little village in France, there lived a girl named Belle. She was different from the other villagers. She lived with her father and she loved reading books. Can you raise your hand if you love reading books? I know you love reading since you're here reading with me. One day, Belle's father stumbled upon the beast's castle and was taken prisoner. Belle went looking for him. When she found her father, she offered to take his place. Some enchanted objects in the castle tried to cheer Belle up by entertaining her. They urged the beast to be gentle with Belle, but he had a terrible temper. Raise your hand if you sometimes have temper tantrums. kind of like that. So enchanted means magical. And readers, if you've ever read or watched Beauty and the Beast, you know that these candlesticks and clocks and teacups that can sing and dance and talk, they are magical. What do you think urged might mean? They urged the beast to be gentle. They like asked, but with begging, like please. When Belle got the chance, she escaped from the castle, but a pack of wolves found her. Just in time, the beast caught up to Belle and fought off the wolves. From that moment on, Belle saw a different side of the beast. They began to spend more time together, and soon the beast realized he had fallen in love with Belle. Unfortunately, the villagers learned that the beast was holding Belle captive. They rushed to the castle to attack him. And the beast tried to defend himself, but it was no use. He fell from the roof, badly wounded. Belle rushed to his side. "I love you," Belle whispered, sobbing. Okay, readers, hold on. We've seen this word wounded before, just in the previous story of Tangled. What did wounded mean again? And if you don't remember, think about it. He fell from the roof. Yeah, badly hurt. And what do you think sobbing might mean? What would Belle be doing? Yeah, sobbing is crying, weeping. With those words, the spell was broken, and Belle watched in wonder as the beast transformed back into a handsome man, and they lived happily ever after. Disney Princess Aladdin. At the palace in the kingdom of Agrabah, Princess Jasmine argued with her father, the Sultan. The law said she must marry a prince by her next birthday, but Jasmine did not want to marry a prince. She wanted to marry for love, meaning that he didn't need to be a prince. She just wanted to marry anyone that she loved. Jasmine decided to run away. In the marketplace, she saw a hungry little boy. She took an apple and gave it to the boy, but she had no way to pay for it, so the merchant called her a thief. Do you know what a thief is? Yeah, a thief is somebody who steals something. Technically, the princess did steal it because she just took an apple and gave it to the boy. Suddenly, a boy who lived on the streets appeared. His name was Aladdin. He helped Jasmine get away from the merchant, meaning the store owner. I love the soundtrack to this movie too, meaning like all the songs in this movie. Meanwhile, a greedy man named Jafar wanted to enter the Cave of Wonders. But when he discovered that only a diamond in the rough could enter, he grew angry. With the magic spell, he discovered that the diamond in the rough was Aladdin. Do you know what greedy means? That's a character trait of Jafar, a greedy man. Yeah, somebody who's greedy, somebody who wants everything, so selfish, just wants more, can't get enough. Jafar sent his man to return the princess home. Then Jafar offered Aladdin a deal. If he took a magic lamp from the cave, he would be free. Aladdin agreed, but when he rubbed the lamp, a genie came out. The genie offered Aladdin 3 wishes. Aladdin promised to free the genie from the lamp with his last wish. For his first wish, Aladdin asked the genie to turn him into a prince named Ali. Prince Ali, you know this song? Prince Ali took Jasmine on a magic carpet ride, and they found themselves falling in love. But then, Jafar's parrot, Iago, stole the magic lamp. Now the genie had to grant Jafar's wishes. Jafar wished to become the most powerful sorcerer in the world. He held the royals captive. That's a difficult sentence. So let me unpack that for you, because that's what a good reader does. A good reader stops and says, what was that sentence I read again? So a sorcerer, the most powerful sorcerer, is like a magician, like having all these powers. And sorcerers have evil power. So he wanted to be like the most evil magician in the world. And he held the royals captive. Royals are like the queen and the king and prince and princesses, and he held them as prisoners. Jafar's next wish was to become an all-powerful genie. But Jafar had forgotten something. Now that he was genie, he could be trapped in a lamp. And with Jafar gone, Aladdin was able to use his last wish to free the genie. To make his daughter happy, the Sultan decided to change the law. Jasmine could now marry anyone she wanted to. Jasmine chose Aladdin, and together they lived happily ever after. Oh, good night, readers. Sweet dreams. And don't forget to subscribe to Read Alouds with Mrs. Na. Disney Princess, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, I'm really getting sleepy. One day, a beautiful girl named Snow White met a handsome prince. They were drawn to each other right away. But Snow White's stepmother, the evil queen, was jealous of Snow White's beauty and charm. So she commanded a huntsman to get rid of Snow White. Snow White had to get away from the evil queen. Scared and alone, she ran into the forest. She soon came upon a cottage. Inside the cottage lived 7 dwarfs: Doc, Bashful, Sleepy, Grumpy, Sneezy, Happy, and Dopey. Can you show me 7 fingers? Yeah, that's how many dwarfs she had. The dwarfs adored their new friend. She was kind and liked to laugh with them, and they asked her to stay with them. Okay, so there's 7 dwarfs, and now there's 1 more, plus 1 with Snow White. How many are there total? Show me 7 fingers, and then show me 1 more. You're showing me 8. Great. But when the evil queen found out that the huntsman had not gotten rid of Snow White, she was angry. She transformed herself into an old woman and gave Snow White a poison apple. As soon as Snow White took a bite, she fell to the floor. Only love's first kiss could break the spell. Hold on, readers. Let's go back. She transformed herself into an old woman. What do you think transformed might mean? That's right. Transformed means to change. Do you guys know the Transformers, those toys? Yeah, they change from like cars into robots. That's why they're called Transformers. When the dwarfs saw what had happened to Snow White, they chased the queen. Lightning struck, causing her to fall off a cliff and disappear forever. But still, the spell did not break. Because readers, do you remember how the spell would break? That's right. If you go back in your reading, she needed love's first kiss. So, time passed. Day after day, the dwarfs kept watch over Snow White in the forest. When the prince finally arrived, the dwarfs were overjoyed, and with his kiss, Snow White awoke. And together at last, Snow White and her prince lived, that's right, happily ever after. Oh, readers, we've read a lot of books tonight. I hope you get a good night rest. Like Snow White, get a good night rest. And we'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget to subscribe with Read Alouds with Mrs. Na.